Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It is almost the end of August. Luckily for here in the Mobile area, we kind of survived the hurricane ordeal. Hearts and prayers go out to everybody in Louisiana and Texas that were in the Laura hurricane track path. I got friends out there that sent me pictures of everything that they rode it out. Everybody has to do what they got to do. Probably would have been smart to leave, but some people just stayed, and they're fine. Luckily, I hope all your friends and family that you know out there are doing well. So today's another aspect of, basically what grinds my gears, or whatever you want to call it, with the Moto-Tech videos. We do it at least once a week. Some things I want to bring up. One, like I said, if I tell you I'm about 2 weeks out before I look at your bike if you drop it off, it's about 2 weeks out. I mean, I am packed out in here. I spent half day yesterday just moving things around to get to the ones that were already here waiting so I can pull them up front to get to them. And we're not a huge, 2,000 square feet. I mean, it's not a lot of space when you actually start looking at it in the grand scheme of things there. But please, if you call me in 2 weeks, I'll say, yep, gonna get to it next week. And you say, hey, it's been there 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and why is it not done yet? When I tell you I'm 2 weeks out, I'm not touching your bike for like 2 weeks. That's just how it is. I can get to it sooner if I can get everything else knocked out in front of you, but people come in and there's a sequence. It's called first in, first out, FIFO, on that one. Sometimes it takes a little longer on parts. I mean, I'm literally waiting on an air filter that took, should have been here next day. It's been 3 days now and it's finally out for delivery today. UPS is just not guaranteeing anything. I literally have the screen and the policies from them saying that they're not guaranteeing anything. So there's that. Other things, customers, people order their own parts. Just because you order your own parts and they come in and you drop them off at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, all right, I'm here, here's my parts, I want to wait on the bike. That's not how that works. I'm sorry, guys. And you call me at 12 o'clock saying your parts finally arrived, and then you just show up, don't say anything, and come here at 1 o'clock, I'm just throwing numbers out there, time frames, and say you want your bike done right now. You got other people in front of you right there. And I've been waiting on your parts to get here. It took a couple weeks to get here for your parts. And I don't drop everything just to go do your bike right there on the spot. And it's not being rude, it's being professional. Other people had their parts ordered, they came in next day. We start working on their stuff because it's in a sequence that came on there, and I will get to yours. It may be a day or two, but I'll get to yours and knock yours out. As long as it's not internal engine work, then it takes a little longer and things like that. So, or if an engine shows up, just because you ordered your engine and then I get it, and I tell you I can't warranty your engine. It's all based on you and the person that you bought it from. And I bench tested, make sure everything turns over, everything is good to go in that aspect there. But if it goes in there and it doesn't turn over, and then we do a compression test and it has 60 pounds or 100 pounds per cylinder kind of thing on a 4-stroke, let's say it's a Kawasaki's EX10R or something, and it's not going to turn over. It's just no. And then you have a busted water pump because it's weeping water out of the weep hole, things like that. That's stuff you should have talked to when you bought your engine. We buy engines from 2 vendors, 3 now. We actually got a 3rd vendor now up in Illinois, which is really nice on that one. So they come with warranties and guarantees. I mean, I actually did get an engine here, a personal engine of mine that I bought for a bike that I own. Got here, engine, the water pump metal output hose was dented and bent. So that tells me it was wrecked. So I called them up and they sent a shipping label, shipped it right back out, had another one there and shipped it the same day to me. So it takes 3 to 5 days to get an engine here, but it does get here. And also we do have really good vendors. All right, so with all that ado, that's my grind my gears this week. Still getting bikes in here with oil leaks everywhere. Please, if your bike leaks oil, please check your oil every day or fix the oil leak and everything. I know you guys are buying some of these bikes for, they're either given to you for free or you get 500 or $1,000. Then you get here and you need, work done. You need gaskets put on and everything, or it needs extensive work. You hear a rattle and you're like, hey, it sounds like there's rattling coming out the top end, and I put a stethoscope to it and it's rattling like crazy. So I'm like, yeah, you need a valve job done on it. If it's $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,200, depending on if you need valves and stuff like that, don't get mad at me. All right, I got customers that tell me, they need a valve job done and it's rattling. I'm like, all right, so we got to take the head and send it off to the machine shop, and you're looking at maybe $1,000 for a full valve rebuild. That's valve seats, valve springs, valves, all that stuff, and everything. So don't get mad like, oh my God, $1,000. I thought it was going to cost me $50. I actually had someone tell me it's $50 at one of the other mechanic shop's house. He charges $50 to rebuild a head. That's your valve seats, which your rubber pieces there, your springs, ordering a valve kit and all that. I don't know where they're doing that, or they're pulling parts off another bike or whatever. But if it's $50, I'd be kind of worried, because I can tell you, just from experience, I'm a BMW guy. Everybody in Mobile knows BMW S1000RRs are my thing. Those are my favorite bikes. Then valve jobs on those are about $1,800 for a valve check and all that, and to go through that valve servicing. I mean, it's expensive. When you have titanium valves and springs that you need because you bent the valve or whatever in there, and then it's got to be lapped, it's got to be measured, it's got to do all that work, it gets expensive. So please, it's not my fault that it's expensive, and because the labor side of the house is sometimes cheaper than the actual parts themselves. And if you want to order a head off eBay, I had someone actually ordered a head. They said, I ordered a head off eBay. They bought it for $100 for their R6. I'm like, okay, even though you get it, we still got to send it to go make sure that it's planed and level, to make sure everything's gonna fit right, because we don't want to put a head on there with a head gasket and it's warped, and then now you're leaking water, and then we have to do all the work all over again. I don't want to do all that. Just throw it on there. It'll be fine. That's why I have a form here that has a warning section there, that I've warned you about this. I've already explained everything to this, and you are now waiving all the safety aspects of everything, saying that yes, I just want you to do that, and you sign off on that, and then I'll do the work that way, but I just won't do it anywhere. Hey Mark, hope everything is doing well there on that. So without further ado, after all that little stuff, I told you we're going to talk about tires. Tires. This is a nasty looking tire. Please guys, you do not want to ride on tires like this. This is a front tire off a Harley. On there you can see it is starting to separate. When your tread gets down so low, it'll actually start to separate from the wire all the way around. Few things. One, you ride a lot, so you change your tires out frequently, which is a good thing, because then you get newer tires. You always have a new tire on there. Tires have about a 5-year lifespan, okay, because it's rubber. All right, rubber does harden in the environment, and it does change based on your environment that you're in, whether you're in a cold climate, hot climate, humid hot climate, things like that. All right, so tires. Told you, you can look at the tire and tell you what the date this tire is made, okay? So if you look on the outside here, you'll come around, you'll actually get the DOT number on here. Sometimes it'll be where it says, 190-55-17, it'll say DOT, and then it'll have a circle right here. It's a stamp with a circle on it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. That is your date stamp on when this tire was made. This one shows, let's see what the date is on this one. This one shows 44-2003. So this is the original tire that bike had from 2003, because it was an 03 Harley that came in here. And he has been riding this tire since then and left it there. So you're talking a 17-year-old tire. And it's separated. He ran it all the way down to the bare minimum. He thought he still had tread left, then it started separating, and it got him a little worried. So the first date, when it says 44, that is the 44th week of that year. The second number next to it, the 03, is the year it was made. So you may get one that says 14-19. That is the 14th week of 2019. That is how you can tell how old your tire is. This is a crappy tire because it is old, it is hard, it is dry rotted. If you see cracks and everything forming on the sidewall or in the center line of your tires, it is time to replace your tire, because it is eventually gonna blow on you. It'll leak or it'll separate, and you do not want that to happen, especially on a front tire. This is a brand new tire. You see how much tread is in here, all right? So the nice thing about this tire, I'm trying to find the date on this one. The date code is 4719, so it's the 47th week of 2019, all right? So that is when this tire was made. All right. So I'm gonna pull up so I can show you where your tread markers are. So some tires have on the sidewall little arrows every 6 to 8 inches or so. Those arrows there tell you where your wear bars are. Okay. The wear bars are going to tell you how much tread is roughly left on your tire. Okay, they look like little plateaus. There's flat in there. As you wear the tire down, those plateaus become more and more pronounced. And they start growing on you, and you're like, "Do what?" But no. Let's see where the wear bar is on this one for you. Some of them have the little arrows, some do not. There we go. So this one has where it says. This one says TWI at every wear bar. It's really hard to see the TWI. But I'm gonna get close to the camera. So you see the TWI here. You see that little spot right there? That is a wear bar, all right? It looks like a plateau shape embedded in the rubber. That is your indicator so you can see how much tread as you're going down. If you don't have a penny or if you don't use a tread depth gauge, you can use that to see. And that kind of gives you an idea of how much tread is left and how far along your tire is before it wears out, okay? Tire sizes. Everybody, all the 600 guys go to 190s and all the 1000 guys go to, 190 to 2000, or to 200, sorry, not 2000. So, tire size. 200 is the width. That's your first number on this, okay? So, whatever tire you buy, whether it's a 190 or it's a, let's see what size this tire is gonna be on this one. Tire size 130, so it's 130. That's the width of this tire. Then you got the 70. That is the height of the tire. Okay. Man just had to do the mobile way, run it to the cords, right? That is right, Nathan. You wouldn't believe how many cords come through. I actually have people that run cords, and it slaps their undertail of their rear fairing, and it actually will start grooving and cutting into their rear fairing. So back tire, sorry. So that's the width. The second number is the height of the tire, okay? And then the last number where it says 17, 18, 19, 21, that is your rim size, all right? You cannot fit an 18 on a 17. You cannot fit a 17 on a 21-inch rim. It will not work. I mean, it is physically impossible for it to work. You can put a bigger tire on a smaller rim, but it will never seal. It'll just flop around, all right? So, tire sizes. For you sports bike guys out there that want to jump up on tire size, not every bike can do it. Not every 600 or every 1000 can go up the next size or two, all right? You have to look at the chain to tire distance between the two, okay? If you don't have more than a ½ inch gap between your tire and the chain on the front leading edge near the front of the swing arm, you're gonna run into some issues, okay? The other thing is, why do you need to go to the next size up? Your bike is geometrically designed for that shape. Yes, people are like, I want more contact patch. Do you race? Do you go to the track? I mean, those are the things you want to look at because you're going to be paying premium pricing for bigger tires, especially when you go to the 200 range, okay? On that one. Next is, what kind of tire do you want? We always ask, people are like, oh, I need to buy a tire. But how do you ride? What's your riding style? Are you just a touring guy? Do you like just to ride straight and go on vacations and go long distance? Or are you a guy that goes to these back roads and wants to try to drag a knee as hard as you can on the asphalt? Or do you go to the track all the time? Like Barber, Jennings, Coda, Laguna Seca, things like that. Do you need super grip? Do you ride in the rain? That's the other one. Are you a rain rider? Do you get caught in downpours and don't care and just want to ride all day long no matter what it is? That's when we start determining what type of tire to get you. Just because your buddy says, oh man, you got to get that Q3 Plus out there. I'm a huge Dunlop fan, okay? I love Dunlop. I'm a Dunlop dealer here. But if you tell me that you're an all day, every day, no matter what weather rider it is out there, you'll ride if it's in a hurricane out there. Probably not going to suggest you a Q3 Plus, okay? If you're a seasonal rider, I mean, like I only ride when it's dry. I may get caught in a downpour here and there, but I'm not like this past week when it's pouring down rain, you're like, oh, I'd ride in that all day long. I may tell you to go to a different tire. Or I may suggest a different tire for you. That's the key of being a shop. You got to know your product kind of thing, and you got to have to make sure you give proper suggestions. You don't tell someone what to buy. You suggest them and give them ideas of, hey, this is a much better tire. This is what they do. This is the properties, X, Y, Z. I actually have pamphlets. I mean, Dunlop sends them out to me all the time. It gives you all the breakdowns between a Q3 Plus, a Q4, a GPR 300, a Road Sport 2, a Road Smart 3 that just came out. You have the Drag Max, which is the Dunlop drag tires that they have out there for the drag strip racers. MX33s, I mean, D404s, D402s for the cruisers. I mean, there's so much information out there. We'd like to give you as best we can. But this is what we want to talk about on tires. I mean, especially on the front tire. If your tire is made for a 120/70/17, stick with the 120/70/17. If you go to a 120/60/17, you're dropping the profile of the height of it, so it is going to dip in a lot faster, and it's going to change the geometry up of your bike. And also, it's probably not going to feel right to you. All right, just like when you go to a 200 over a 190 or 180 over 200, that dip in is going to it's based on every tire that you get. Every manufacturer has slightly a different conically shaped tire, which is the cone shape of the roundness. Some are a little taller with steeper sidewalls, and some are more ergonomically correct, making it a perfect conical shape. So that way your turn in is a gradual, even turn in instead of a quick, fast dip in turn in. And the reason I say is because I do ride the Q4s, and I rode the oh shoot, sorry, the Michelin. I'm having a brain fart right now. The Power Cup Evos, and they are a different shape. Dunlops are more taller profile than the Power Cups. The Power Cups are more of a conically equal shape across the board, and I've rode both of them at Barber. You know, I do love the Q4s at Talladega, but I do like the Power Cups at Barber between the two, because I like a more evenly dip in onto a turn compared to a fast throw down into a turn, which Talladega is a little smaller. It is a lot more fun that way. So without further ado, I just want to give you guys some information on tires. If you need tires, give us a call here at Moto-Tech. We are here to help. I do have this Avon Road Rider. This one's the Mark II. It's a size 18. It's a 130/70/18 along with the tube. Customer ordered the wrong size, couldn't ship it back. I have a tire here. If you want it at cost, let me know. I will sell it to you at cost, and it'll come with the tube on there, because, well, that leads the last thing. If you have spokes on your tire, 90% of the time you need a tube and rim tape when you buy tires. Unless you have a self-sealed rim on there with spokes, that's the screw-in spokes, then you don't. Okay, if you have a mag wheel, that's a solid wheel with no spokes, you don't need a tube. But please, if you do buy tires, make sure you know if you have spokes or not on there, so you can buy tubes, because that's the main thing. Because if we try to pull a tube out, well, we don't guarantee that it's going to survive. A lot of times where the valve stem meets the rubber, that's just metal and rubber. It rusts there and it separates. So make sure you do that. If you're at Cycle Gear, let them know, like Kristen, Tatiana, and all of them over there know that, hey, my bike has spokes on there, and they'll help you out as well, because they're really amazing over there. We work really well with Cycle Gear. We do appreciate all their help. We do send people their way, because we don't carry a lot of product in stock, so we send them over there to go pick it up, and they send them back over here to get the work done on that. So without further ado, I hope you guys have an awesome and safe weekend. Saturday is supposed to be tremendous downpours, but Sunday is supposed to be a great day to ride. I may bring out the 300, the Nicolas Cage 300 this weekend. I know it's a 300, but it is a very valuable bike to me in that sense, because it was in the Nicolas Cage movie, Between Worlds. If you've never seen that, it's on Netflix. You'll see my bike where they're working on it and they're sitting on it, laughing and having a water fight on top of it. That is my bike there. So, hope you guys have a great time, and I'll see everybody when I see you guys. Cheers.